welcome to or back to my channel. So today I'm going to be filming a super exciting video. I'm going to be sharing with you all of my tips and tricks for online classes, how to stay motivated and productive, and really just excel and thrive in virtual classes. I've taken online classes in high school and college. I've also worked from home for a while. I kind of feel like I have mastered online learning and just kind of like the routine. I also asked my Instagram kind of like things that you guys might have struggled with this past semester with the transition and just things that you'd like me to talk about. To start with, I'm just going to be kind of going through like my general tips, and then at the end I'll just kind of be going through the things that you guys asked me to talk about specifically. Before we get started, make sure you guys are subscribed, turn on the notification bell so you can be notified whenever I post. I have a ton of back to school content coming, so make sure you do have that notification bell turned on so you can be notified whenever I post. Also follow me on Instagram at emilygrace.26 so you can see what's up in my daily life and get some daily content. And also make sure to thumbs up this video if you'd like to see more kind of like online learning type of videos. Let's just go ahead and get started. My very first tip is to schedule and time block, and I have like notes on my phone. By the way, this case is from Casetify. I'm obsessed with Casetify. I think I do still have an active discount code, so I'll put it here on the screen. I think it's just Emily Grace for 20% off. All these cases, they're cute, you can customize them, and they're protective. And one of my main things is, and I've talked about this in other videos as well, is to really just like plan out your deadlines for classes. So I used to really do this physically in a physical planner. I would write out all my deadlines, my assignments, and all my classes. But lately, and I've talked about this also in vlogs, I've been really obsessed with doing this in a digital format. So on your phone, and it depends on what phone you have, but I'm pretty sure every phone has a calendar. So you can do like a digital, you can time block and put in everything you want like on the digital calendar, and you can sync it up from your phone to your computer. I've been really obsessed with doing this digitally, especially when I did transition to the online classes. What I really like about this is that when you have like a Zoom class, you can add like the URL for your Zoom class into your calendar, and it'll just be time blocked there at the time, and you can click on that URL when it's time for your Zoom class and it'll take you straight to the Zoom link. I just find it really useful. I almost like it more than my physical calendar, which I can't believe I'm saying because I'm like obsessed with planners. I have just been really obsessed with this. So I'll probably show you, I want to show you guys how I actually time block my classes and add in my due dates and plan and time block my day, but I feel like that could almost be a whole separate video. I actually have a whole video where I did show how I organize my planner and how I organize my deadlines, everything like that. It's a pretty old video, but I will link it above. It's still pretty much the same way how I do it. I'll just put it in a digital format. Highly recommend checking out this video just because it's a lot to get into in this specific video, but that is my #1 tip for productivity, for staying on top of things. You really have to do it all yourself. Even in normal in-person college, you're still in charge of doing it yourself. So this is like my #1 tip. Basically, in short, whether it's a physical syllabus or digital syllabus that I'm reading to myself, I will look at all my deadlines and I will put the actual due date in my calendar or planner. I will figure out like what days I actually want to do the assignments on, and I will put those in there as well. Kind of think to yourself, is this a lot of homework? Is this a little bit of homework? What days do I have a lot of classes, a little bit of classes? And kind of just work out a schedule for yourself so it's always the same every week, and just put it in your planner for the rest of the semester. Just write it out or put it in your digital calendar for the rest of the semester. Just make it really easy for you going forward. You'll never miss an assignment because it's already written down on Tuesdays that you have to do this, and then it'll already be written down on Friday that it's due. That is my #1 suggestion for kind of like succeeding in online classes, is to have a very set schedule for yourself, sticking to it. Next up is to create a routine for yourself and create a routine that you love. The thing about online classes is that you have a very flexible schedule, so you can create the routine that you've always wanted. You don't have class at 8 a.m. We might have like a Zoom class at 8 a.m., but like you don't have a physical class at 8 a.m. that you have to be to. So you can really be super flexible with your routine, but just really think about all the things that you've wanted to do. Like maybe you've always wanted to work out in the morning, but you couldn't because you had a really early class, or maybe you want to get coffee in the mornings, but you never had time. Like think about all the things that you've always wanted out of your routine that you haven't had time for, and kind of like make those things happen, because now is the perfect time because your routine can be super flexible or easygoing, and you want to have like a routine that you can look forward to every day and that will motivate you. And if you're like looking forward to like your like morning routine, for example, it will motivate you to get out of bed and get your day started rather than laying in bed all day and sleeping in and never getting your day started. It will just really motivate you to be productive and get out of bed. Stick to routine. Don't just like wake up and like sit in your pajamas doing your online homework, because that is going to really mess up your productivity and also your motivation. You're just gonna feel really groggy and lazy. So actually stick to some sort of routine. It'll make your day feel more normal and it'll make you feel more productive just actually getting up and, you know, getting ready, putting on perfume, putting on makeup, getting dressed. You don't have to put on a full face of makeup or an actual outfit. Like most days I would just put on a t-shirt and sweatpants and put on some makeup, but it just made me feel like I actually got ready and changed my clothes. They were clean, fresh, new sweatpants, and it was like a cute lounge outfit, so it made me feel more put together. So I would just highly recommend having some sort of routine, actually getting ready to some degree. Another thing is to wake up somewhat early. If you sleep until noon every day, because you can, you're never gonna get your stuff done. So try to wake up somewhat early. Give yourself enough time during the day to like get your stuff done. And that way you're not spending like your whole day, because if you sleep until noon and then you're working on it like all day, it's gonna be your whole day. So wake up earlier so that you can still have some part of your evening to enjoy. Kind of speaking of routine, I think it's really beneficial to make your bed and clean your room every day. I did that during quarantine and during my online classes, and I pretty much do that every day anyways. But making your bed, I can't tell you how much of a difference that'll make. It'll just really make you feel like you have your life together. If you're doing your homework in your bedroom, it just makes you feel like everything's cleaner. It makes you feel, I feel like a clean physical space is like a clean mental space. So if your room is messy and your bed is all unmade, I feel like it's harder to focus. So like you can just give yourself 10 minutes before you even get started on your schoolwork to just like make your bed and kind of pick up your room really fast. And just that 10 minutes will make a big difference. That brings me to my next thing. I mentioned your workspace. So I would highly recommend that you do not do homework on your bed. So if you have a laptop or something, I would not do homework sitting on your bed or sitting in your bed on your laptop, because for me personally, whenever I do that, I fall asleep. I always end up taking a nap, and my productivity is so low. I feel like I'm so much more focused when I'm just sitting up, I'm sitting at my desk, I'm focused. Just something about like the mindset of like when you're at like some kind of workspace, you're supposed to be working, but when you're in your bed, like you don't think you're supposed to be working, so you're like gonna get distracted, whether it's at like the kitchen table. I mean, if you have a desk, that's really nice. You could definitely pick up a desk at IKEA for like under $100. So if you don't have a desk, I would definitely check out IKEA. I will link some below. The one I have, I really love. It's a little bit more expensive, but I would definitely pick up, you know, if you don't have a desk and you're gonna be doing online school for the whole year, and who even knows how long, there's definitely some really cheap desks that you can pick up at IKEA that are amazing and would definitely fit a small computer. It will just really help you. I can't tell you, just sitting at a desk makes the biggest difference. And with that, making a nice little desk space for yourself, especially like I said, you're gonna have the commitment of doing online school for a while now, so just make like a nice little desk space for yourself. Make it the best, you know, like be positive. Like that kind of brings me, a lot of people are asking about school supplies for online classes, so I guess I'll just talk about that now. Computer is definitely, I would say, a necessity. Blue light glasses is just kind of an extra thing that would be helpful, because I honestly get really bad headaches whenever I stare at a screen all day. If you're looking for some cheap ones, I would definitely check out iBuyDirect. Theirs are typically under like $40, and I really like them. Very high quality. I will link below a couple of my favorites. AirPods or some kind of headphones would be good too, just because it'll really help you focus when you're in your Zoom classes. I'll get to that later, but if you're just listening to it on full volume and other people are talking in the background, it might be kind of hard to focus. So I definitely think some sort of headphones would be good. A pen and notebook to take notes. That's probably the only physical school supply, like non-tech school supply, would just be like a notebook and a pen, highlighters to take notes. Notes are going to be really important. They always are in school. I take tons and tons of notes, but you're still going to want to take notes even in online classes, because you're going to want them to look back on when you're doing your homework or taking a test or studying for a test. I also put a desk, so I kind of already talked about that. And then maybe even like a flash drive, if you have like a flash drive or an external drive, if your computer is kind of low on storage. My next recommendation is to get rid of distractions. Don't watch TV while you're doing your homework. You should be pretty focused. I mean, you would be if you were in like physical classes. So try to take it as seriously as you can. If you're taking notes or whether you're taking a test online, I don't think it's good to be you know, distracting yourself. Get rid of distractions the best you can. If you like really need to get an assignment done, but you just keep getting on your phone, you keep getting on TikTok for an hour, there are apps that you can download to literally block social media from your phone for a set amount of time, or from your laptop. You can also put your phone on do not disturb, and that way if somebody is texting you and texting you and texting you, you keep hearing your phone vibrate and you keep getting distracted, it just won't send you any notifications. So that is a good way. Personally, I don't ever have anybody texting me, so I don't have this problem. But I would just recommend putting away your phone. Just put it on the other side of the room. So like if I'm sitting at my desk, which is here, I might just put my phone on the top of my dresser or something. It's all the way on the other side of the room. That way I can't hear it, I can't see it. It's out of sight, out of mind. If I'm working on a thing, I'm tempted to go check Instagram. I have to walk all the way over there. I'm most likely not gonna walk all the way over there to check Instagram. I would just recommend putting your phone on the other side of the room. The tip that I have for getting rid of distractions would be to close or lock your door. That way you don't have family members constantly coming in your room asking questions or telling you stories, or you know, whatever. So I like to close my door. It's kind of just like, hey, I'm working, I need to be focused, leave me alone. I like to close my door whenever I'm doing schoolwork or doing a Zoom call. Especially if I'm doing a Zoom call, I kind of let everyone in my family know that I'm doing a Zoom call and to please be quiet. Sometimes I'll even put a post-it note on my door that says Zoom call. Another little tip for productivity is to set progress timers. So I mentioned that I time block. So if I like have 2 hours to get this assignment done, I might set a timer for an hour and a half, and that's like a 30-minute warning that I need to get this, that this assignment needs to be done. So I like to set kind of progress timers on my phone. And just a few things about Zoom. I always take notes during Zoom. I also like to try to wear headphones. That way if my family is being loud, or there's kind of you know, audible distractions, I can't hear them, so I can only hear the Zoom call mostly. So I treat it just like a physical class. That's exactly what I do in my physical classes. I'm not on my phone, I'm not watching Netflix, I am literally sitting there taking notes. If I have a question, I type it in the chat box. A couple of you guys asked how to be interactive in Zoom classes, so my suggestion would be, just like you would in class, if you have an actual question, like if they're teaching something and you're not sure, to just like turn your volume on and ask. Like if you're muted, just like turn your volume, like unmute yourself and ask a question, or like I said, just say it in the chat box. So just don't be afraid to ask questions, don't be afraid to participate. Another tip that I have is don't be afraid to kind of like teach yourself a little bit. I took an online statistics class and I had to like 100% teach myself. So I was constantly looking up YouTube videos on the different I don't even remember what I learned in that class. I'd have to look up a video on how to like type different formulas into my calculator. Chegg Study is actually really helpful. I took another statistics class at my school, but the professor was like not very helpful. So I basically got through that class from Chegg Study. It was very helpful, not with just giving me the answers, but walking me through on how to actually solve the problem. So Chegg Study is really helpful with like math and things like that, because it walks you through on how to actually solve it. So if you're really struggling with like actually learning and you're not sure how to do things, Chegg Study is really good with like explaining it and teaching you. It does cost money. It's like a monthly subscription. That's really helpful. Obviously YouTube is free. Not understanding something, don't be afraid to reach out to the professor for help. So this kind of depends on what kind of university you go to. So I went to a super small university with like less than 20 people in the class. So I guess if you go to like a big lecture hall type of university, you might not have this kind of option. Don't be afraid to literally call or email your professor. I mean, obviously don't call them at midnight, hey, I have a question. It's not a big deal. They most likely won't mind. Last tip for group projects. So group projects can be a little bit tough online because you're not physically seeing the people and, you know, like every day in class and kind of like talking about how to go about the group project. I would recommend Google Docs because it's all online, so you can type in the document and everybody can see it in real time, and it's just really nice. There's like a chat box as well, so definitely recommend Google Docs. It's free, so everyone has access to it. You can also put like attachments in Google Drive for everyone to see. You can do Google Slides, it's a PowerPoint for everyone to do. And then also set up a text group chat for everybody to talk in. So your professor might set up some kind of thing through whatever portal you use. Nobody would ever be able to like talk in it at the same time. So we just exchange numbers and set up a separate text group chat where we could constantly talk, hey, can you do this part? Hey, can you do this part? I would also recommend setting up a Zoom call just for you guys to all talk about the group project. So that is all kind of like ways to go about a group project. And group projects are nice because it is a good way to kind of meet your online classmates and kind of build friendships through that. Otherwise, it's really hard to connect with people through an online class. Okay, so Instagram responses, I'm gonna kind of answer your guys' questions. Motivation, I kind of mentioned this a little bit, but just coming up with a routine and things throughout your day that you can look forward to. So your dog for a walk once you get all your assignments done. I love taking my dog for a walk. That's why I mentioned that. I feel like some sort of like reward once I get everything done. So I might have like my biggest task at the beginning of the day in the morning, and I might have like an afternoon coffee once I get that done. If you have some sort of like really big project or assignment, like a final project or midterm or something like that, maybe rewarding yourself with like some takeout food, like some sort of like little rewards like that can be really beneficial for motivation. Taking notes, so I just recommend when you're in your Zoom lecture just having a notebook. So I like to have literally just like a spiral notebook. I get them for like 50 cents at Staples, or like Target just has them for 99 cents right now. One for every single class, just to keep all my classes notes separate. I would just like write my notes while I'm in my Zoom class, and that is kind of how I take notes. I don't recommend writing down what's on the slide. So like typically in a Zoom class, my professor will have like, we'll screen share like the slides, but usually those slides you can like download, like they'll be available to you. So don't write down what's on the slides because you can literally pull them up later and see them. So I usually will write down whatever the professor is saying about the slides. It's not actually written on the slides. So if it says like bullet point that says marketing positioning, and then my professor saying marketing positioning is how a brand is like thought of in the mind of consumers or something, like I'll write down positioning, mind of consumers or something like that, like instead of just writing marketing positioning, because I can literally go and see that on the slide. Procrastination, this is tough. I'm a big procrastinator, but just knowing that you have a set schedule, and if you don't do this assignment Monday, this assignment Tuesday, this one Wednesday, this one, you're gonna be doing it all on the weekend, and you are gonna be so behind, and there's gonna be no possible you're gonna get it all done. So knowing that deadline is coming, and it's just gonna be better for me to get it done now than the day before. Staying social, this is really hard, especially with everything going on right now. Say like FaceTiming your friends, setting up certain times. Like my friend and I, during quarantine, we FaceTimed, I think it was every Saturday night at like 8 o'clock, we would FaceTime and kind of have like a virtual like wine night, kind of like setting up things like that. So every Saturday night we would do it, kind of catch up with each other. So maybe doing something like that with your closest friends, setting up a day that works for both of you to just like always catch up via FaceTime. Still live at home, maybe watching movies with your family on a certain day. That just kind of helps. I know it's not anything like super social, but you know, you can't really go out right now. Comfy clothes, I will link, I did a whole entire loungewear outfit ideas. It was literally what I was wearing during my online classes in quarantine, so I will link that here. I'll definitely do another one soon. Learning to the full potential, just treating your online classes like they're any other class. So don't think of them like an online class or like it's anything less, because when I was on my Zoom classes, I was taking notes like I would in a regular class. I was doing my assignments, you know, like any other class. So just don't think of it as anything less. Just really think about all the extra time you're having, think about the benefits, and that's actually everything. I feel like this video actually is pretty long, so I probably will do how I time block and schedule my online classes and all that kind of stuff in a separate video. I'll definitely work on that super soon and get that up as soon as possible, so definitely check back for that soon. Subscribe and turn on the notification bells to be notified whenever I post. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thumbs up for more content like this, and follow me on Instagram at emilygrace.26. I really hope this video was helpful, and good luck in all of your online classes. You will all do great. You guys might even find that you really enjoy online classes. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.